All right, today on this DLC episode of Brothers and Boss Battles, we are discussing Marvel Rivals. Marvel Rivals is a new third-person hero shooter video game developed and published by NetEase Games in collaboration with Marvel Games. It was released for PlayStation 5, Windows, and Xbox Series X and S on December 6th, 2024. For those that don't know, our Brothers and Boss Battles DLC series is an offshoot of our regular Brothers and Boss Battles, a video game showdown podcast. And we take new games on this DLC and just talk about them a little bit, all spoiler free, if that's applicable as far as like game stories and all of that. We're really excited about Marvel Rivals, and we've been playing it these few days it's been out, and we really like it. Today, along with me, Tom is here. Brother Tom, brother Pete is not here, so it'll just be the two of us on this DLC episode. Pete has not had the chance to play Marvel Rivals yet, so he wouldn't be much help here. So, Tom, you've been playing pretty much every night since this released. What are your thoughts of Marvel Rivals?
Yeah, I've been having a lot of fun with this one. Kind of unexpected. I'm not really generally a big fan of this kind of game. Um, Before I played it, one of my friends had mentioned that it's like, being compared to the game Overwatch a lot. And earlier this year, I played Overwatch 2 for the first time and almost immediately hated it. Um, yeah, it took me all of like a half hour to really decide that that game wasn't for me, and I ended up uninstalling it, I think later that night. So I didn't, like I wanted to like Rivals a lot because the concept is cool with all the different Marvel superheroes. Um,
And some
but
villain.
well, yeah, of course, and the villains. But yeah, I didn't exactly have the highest hopes for the game going into it, but yeah, I mean, after playing first night, I was pretty much hooked, and still, like, day after day, it's continued to be fun for me.
So
And yeah,
yeah,
no, I
no,
was
go
just
ahead.
gonna say we could go into why that is a
Yeah.
little bit more, unless
So
you wanted to. Yeah.
yeah, no, I'm interested. Yeah, we're definitely gonna get there. But so for those that just briefly describing the game, it's a 6 versus 6 player versus player shooter, online. They have a training with like bots and stuff like that, but the main gameplay is 6 on 6. There's a couple of different game modes. There's a conquest mode, which is essentially first team to get to 50 kills wins. And then there's other game modes where you have to sort of like, bring a vehicle to the finish line, so to speak, and the other side is trying to prevent you from doing that.
Mhm.
Sort of
Mm.
along the lines of like I remember the Star Wars game Battlefront had a couple of modes like that, and
Yeah,
so that's sort of yeah,
capturing a point, like.
yeah, right. There's a capture point kind of thing. So that's sort of a little bit about the gameplay and background, but I I've never played Overwatch, and when this game came out after like the first 2 days, it was being touted as the game that would kill Overwatch. And just common sense, I was thinking, well, it must be like Overwatch, but people are liking this better. So Tom, you seem to be in that camp. So I'm just sort of wondering why maybe you and others feel that way. Is it just being able to play Marvel characters rather than like nameless characters that are in Overwatch, or
No, I don't think that's necessarily it. I feel like those Overwatch characters have a lot of personality too, and people have come to like them a lot. But
Mm,
people who like the game. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think part of it for me is I like third person games a lot better than first person games,
mm.
and that's just a personal preference. I know a lot of people are don't really care about that. Um, Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say. Like I said, I didn't spend too much time with Overwatch. I mean, I think that maybe matchmaking has felt better in Marvel so far, where like I haven't really feel like there have been many games where it's been, so one-sided. I mean, there certainly have been some of those, but I felt like it's so far been pretty even with the amount
Hmm.
of games, or
So you're neither destroying or getting destroyed, most
yeah,
matches, you're saying.
yeah.
Yeah.
And there are outliers, of course, but
Yeah.
on both sides. So there are some games where, my team ends up destroying and vice versa, where we end up getting destroyed. But like I said, those aren't like super frequent.
Yeah.
Whereas in Overwatch, I felt like we were getting destroyed every game.
Was it like gameplay wise, was it similar?
Yeah, similar. I'm not sure if they had like a conquest like mode, but
Mm,
which is essentially team deathmatch. I mean, I haven't been
right.
playing that in Marvel either, so
Oh, so I've been playing that the most.
uh
Yeah, actually. Because the other ones you can't really decide. You just have to go to quick play and then it puts you in one of those maps, right? Or can
yeah,
you? Yeah. So
I think so. Yeah,
yeah. So I don't know if they're going to change that eventually where you could select it or if it's always going to be sort of randomized. Yeah. I mean, this game is really up my alley because as far as like, I too am not into like those online shooters and stuff a lot, but I did play Battlefront. We've played Smite a lot, in which it's not a shooter, but it's that sort of P versus P, online capture point kind of thing. And the fact that it's Marvel, I love Marvel, and they have a lot of classic characters. There's 33, I believe, to start, and I'm sure they'll be adding in new people all the time.
definitely. Yeah.
Just to give a little bit more of the game itself. So there's three classes of characters in this game. There's duelists, which are essentially your main damage givers, um, your main damagers in the
Also
game.
known as DPS.
Okay. Uh, As you can see, I don't play many of these online P versus P shooters, but another category is Vanguard, and they're sort of like the tanks of the group that try to create separation and make plays uh, when things are kind of just sort of stalling. And then finally, there's the strategists, also known as healers, who generally stay sort of in the back and heal and aid their teammates and debuff their opponents. And they, of course, have some attacks as well. And they've, sectioned off each of these characters into one of these three categories. The duelists by far have the most characters within that class. And then there's about maybe 8 or 9 each in the Vanguard and Strategist groups. And then probably the remaining, which is probably a little bit more than half, are in the duelists column. So, Tom, what have
Yeah.
you liked to play so far? Any preference, or you've kind of been giving them all an even shot?
Yeah, I'd say that I've been playing playing them all pretty evenly. I am having a lot of fun with the Vanguard, which is
Mm.
the tank class.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's fun to just like getting people, getting your
yeah,
enemy's face and they can't kill you. And then if you have like a healer backing you up, it's like you get to
yeah,
stay alive forever. And it's pretty
yeah,
awesome. Yeah.
yeah. So I've been playing Strategist and Vanguard the most, just because Duelist is like the main kind of quote unquote characters. So I feel like everyone, as soon as the character select starts, you'll have like 4 of your 6 people have already chosen duelists. Yeah, duelists before you can even like look at the characters. So to try
Yeah.
to balance the team out, I often try to be one of those other two classes. So I've been
Yeah.
playing a lot of
It,
a lot of
it,
Vanguard and Strategist.
it behooves you as a team to have all the roles being fulfilled.
Yeah, I
It's
kind of
funny.
like it. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, yesterday I was playing with two of my friends, and so like we all locked in duelists to start, and then our three random teammates also decided to lock in duelists, so we had six duels.
Did you win that match?
No, we did not.
Nah. The healing is really important, I feel, or like the
Yeah, for sure. Because
the
I don't think you regenerate any health any other way, unless you like they have those little health pickups on the ground that you
yeah.
could go. But like in a lot of other shooters, like if you like don't take damage for
Hmm.
some seconds or whatever, um, then you'll just start to auto regenerate your health. I haven't noticed that in this game.
I wouldn't be surprised. I haven't obviously played all of the characters yet. It's just, like I said, believe there's over, I think there's 33 and it's only been out for a few days, but
Oh yeah, I
I,
think Wolverine actually has a
yeah,
healing
I,
factor
I
thing,
was
which
gonna
is
say I wouldn't be surprised if like some characters have that as one of their moves, but um, no, that's interesting. It's very fast paced. I feel it's the queues are going fast. I think it had like you had sent something before. I think it has like in the first 3 days has 10 million like
yeah,
participants already, which
yeah.
is
The team's
like
doing
real.
great.
Yeah, but so the queues are fast, but then like the gameplay itself is pretty fast. It's sort of like go in there and do what you have to do. The matches are pretty quickly. I'd say they're all over within 10 minutes.
Yeah,
It's probably even quicker than that, most of them, but
yeah.
um
And sometimes you just like end up losing quickly.
yeah.
It depends too, because like some of the rounds are 2 out of 3. Like, who
Oh, right,
like
yeah.
when you're capturing objectives, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. So that's cool. So um I'd like to talk about some of the characters. Like, and again, I haven't played a bunch, but
Yeah, I've been kind of focusing on a few just to get used to the game.
yeah, that's probably a good idea.
And then it's like, yeah, it's so hard to like just go into a match and like know like what the abilities do. Like especially with the like one time I was like I wanted to try out Mantis who's a
Hmm.
healer, and just like I was the only healer on the team, and I didn't really know what I was doing because I hadn't used her before.
Yeah.
So I just felt like I don't know, like I felt bad and like I had to change off of her.
Yeah. So that's another thing. You when you get killed in a match and you're in the respawning phase, you can change characters, which I was mentioning to Tom before. I don't really love that. But I think it might also prevent some people from like just like leaving the match, which is always sort of a big downer in these type of games. So, if that keeps people in it, so you're not like 6-on-5 or 6-on-4, because people, get
Yeah,
all pissed off and like leave. I guess if the rationale behind including that feature was that, then I guess I can't really blame them for trying.
yeah. And then also like I don't know, in the case where I was saying where we had six duelists that match,
Hmm.
like eventually I think some people started switching off to the
Mm,
other roles. So like maybe
yeah,
a case like that too, where
yeah,
you realize you messed up at the beginning
yeah.
with the initial. That's another thing now that you brought that up. I hadn't really noticed much toxicity in the game yet, which is
That's good.
usually really high in these kinds of games. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm.
let's hope that they
It
keep that
stays.
up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm hoping also that the matches don't become more one-sided once people start getting used to the game, and you'll have
Mm.
those people that inevitably play like 20 hours a day.
Yeah, that's kind of a fear that I have too, that the game might get really sweaty at some point soon.
It did like listen to some YouTubes on this and stuff, and like they mentioned, and I guess I could kind of see this, like even though there's only three classes, it's like some characters I feel might be able to kind of straddle uh, classes, just based on their move set or whatever. So like that could be something that like even like someone like Loki, for example, like he's in the strategist, slash healer class, but he's got some moves where it's like he could sneak up on people and like stab them in the back and all of that. And it's like almost like a duelist. You could use him as in that sense if you could, keep his health up and stuff. So I don't know. I just feel like there'll be, people will find these
Hmm.
different ways to play characters, just like they seem to do in these games.
Yeah. Yeah, I think even Wolverine has like like we mentioned the healing,
Mhm.
the health thing, and then I think he also has a move that gives him a shield.
Mhm. And
So
what's
like I could
his?
see him.
He's a
He's
duelist, right?
duelist,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah,
I've
and that's another thing. There's kind of like two kinds of duelists. You have your long range ones and then your melee range ones.
right. And being sort of in the vein of a shooter, there's it might seem like that you'd be at a disadvantage if you're using a melee one, but I feel like those melee ones can really get behind the lines, so to speak, and attack the healers and dispose of them
Yeah,
pretty quickly. So they could be useful because again, you're not on in a lane or on a line. It's a big open arena. It's essentially a circle. So you can, if that healer isn't positioned well, you really can do a lot of damage even as a melee person.
yeah. And I've noticed that they tend to have abilities that give them some, good movement, so you kind of like get in
Yeah.
quickly and then like make an escape after you kill.
Um. All right. So I mean, there are a lot of characters. So what have you been playing, Tom? Or who have you been playing?
Well, yeah, I guess we'd start with like so in the game they put vanguards and duelists and strategists. So I'll go in that order. So for vanguards, I've been playing mostly Thor, who I think is a lot of fun. But recently I started playing Cap as well, Captain America.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I had a cool kill with him yesterday. So I was, pressing on a rocket raccoon, and he was, he was shooting at me. It wasn't doing a ton of damage. And I put my shield up, and apparently that reflects bullets back. So he
Oh,
ends up
nice.
killing himself. Yeah,
Oh, wow, that's pretty good.
yeah,
So yeah, so uh, I'll go next with my Vanguard. So I've mostly Vanguarding have been Magneto, and I feel he's pretty cool. He's got a ton of shields. He could shield himself. He could shield others. He could create like a rectangular type shield in front of everyone that prevents like bullets and that. So he's got a lot of that going on. And then his ultimate is pretty cool because he'll like go up in the air and take any of the bullets being shot at that point and then can throw that like a big ball down on the opponent. So,
and that's pretty
he's
cool.
yeah, yeah. I mean, he's always you know, been a cool character and he's pretty cool in this game as far as
Like
his move set is concerned. I mean,
that's
like the most of the Vanguards, he's slow, but he can take a lot of damage.
that's cool. He has the shield like in the X-Men arcade game.
Shield. He doesn't say that though, but
Yeah, maybe they'll give him a
they'll-
skin and
yeah.
have
Well, they do have that like sort of 90s cartoon Magneto skin, so I definitely want to get that. Oh,
yeah,
before we go on to like duelist and strategist though, it is interesting. Like I was talking to a friend at work about this, and he was saying how in Overwatch it's first person shooter and they would sell skins, but you could like really never see it. But where in this
yeah,
game it's third person, so it's actually kind of cool like to try
yeah,
to get the more skins.
yeah. I've always wondered about that, like skins in first-person games. Like, I mean, tons of games do it, but it's
Yeah.
just like it feels so like
I
pointless
guess
as the player to buy.
yeah, I guess other people are seeing it, so
Well, yeah, but you don't get to enjoy it. They do.
yeah. What else have you been playing?
Yeah. So for the duelists, so I started playing Punisher a lot, like when I first started the game, because he's like really simple.
Yeah, simple, and I think you do like the tutorial with him, or at least part of it. Unless
Oh,
you can
was it?
choose. Maybe I just happened to choose him because I had him.
I hmm, I don't even remember doing a tutorial.
Oh, like against the bots early. Oh, maybe you don't have to do it. I guess maybe you skipped it, and yeah,
Yeah. Well, anyway, yeah. So he's pretty fun too, and his ult is like goes pretty crazy.
yeah,
Yeah, and then other than that, I've been playing Squirrel Girl,
mm.
who's actually
Yeah,
like seems to be really strong.
yeah. She's also so they have like difficulty levels for each character, like how easy it is to get used to them and use them. A Squirrel Girl and I think Punisher both are like 1 star, so they're sort of like a lot of beginners will use them. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
really. Duelist wise, Punisher's really been the only guy I've used. He's got a varying array of like guns, and he has a pretty cool move where he like jumps back and throws a smoke bomb, so it's kind of like an escape. That one's pretty cool. Um,
yeah,
but yeah,
yeah. And one other thing I guess we didn't mention, or maybe we did, but each character has a unique set of abilities, including an ultimate ability, which I guess they have different cooldowns for each character, but
yeah, we referenced it, but yeah, we didn't state that
yeah.
specifically. But
But
yeah,
like
they're
some
all
characters have like more abilities than other
yeah,
characters.
yeah, which is interesting that like, but I guess it
And
goes with the particular class. And like some of them are, escapes or like other sort of moves like that as opposed to like all attacks.
yeah, yeah, and the another really cool thing about this game is the team up abilities.
Oh yeah, I was gonna bring that up after we talked about our strategist, but yeah,
Yeah,
that is pretty cool.
yeah. I'm
Yeah.
some of them like, or I mean, I guess like a lot of them even like can give you like a whole nother ability to use like on
Hmm.
cooldown. Like Squirrel Girl and Spider-Man have a team up where she
Yeah.
like I guess throws an acorn that's like webbed up or whatever.
Right, right.
So
Yeah,
like
so
that's an
that's pretty
additional
cool.
CC move for her
Hmm.
on a
If you have
pretty
the
quick
right.
cooldown. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I was and we'll get to the strategist, but I was Rocket Raccoon and there was a Groot in my match, and as Rocket you can ride on Groot's back, and it essentially gives you like a little bit more defense and stuff. So
Yeah.
so the team up, every character has at least one team. I actually think they might have it like at least two. Like
Some
so
of
at
them
least
have to, but
yeah,
not all.
not
Yeah.
all of them. So there'll be either a character or two that your character, if there's that character in the match, can team up with in various different ways. Like the two we just mentioned are pretty different ways, but they're still pretty cool. And everyone has at least one. So that's another thing to take into account when building a team.
Yeah, I
For
feel like, at high levels, like high ranks or whatever, that's like that's gonna be the thing that people focus on, like
yeah,
creating these teams based solely off of the team up abilities.
right. Yeah, it would seem that way. All right, Tom, strategist. Have you
Yeah,
mentioned you were
so
playing them.
yeah, so I played Loki one match. I did like him, but then I ended up switching over to Rocket, playing him a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean he's pretty cool because he could do some damage with the machine gun, but then also, you know,
Heal.
pretty effective healer. And then
Yeah.
he has like the drone that could revive teammates
Hmm.
when they die, which is cool.
Yeah.
The
Yeah, and you
ult
kind
is
of
really
know, like, if someone's in the middle of like a big match that like they're trying to take people out, but they're probably gonna die. So if you have a move like that, you could resurrect them, and it's
yeah,
more time. So it's like you kind of know. It's not like in other games where it's like someone might be low on health and then actually die 5 minutes later. It's like you kind of know, so you throw that out there, and it really helps. But I've been using the same two strategists just to round that
yeah.
up. It's been Loki and Rocket mostly for me. So
I used Jeff a few times as well.
Jeff the Land Shark.
He's not as fun in my opinion. I mean,
Yeah,
he's like the most hated character on
well,
online right now. So
people have been saying he's great. He's like S tier and all that.
yeah, I don't know that like he's really that great or just like his ult. Well, because his ult, you
Swallows
can
everyone up, right?
you can grab like the whole team and throw them off the edge of the stage, basically.
Yeah.
So,
So
but yeah, other than that, he doesn't seem too effective at least
yeah.
doing damage.
Hmm.
He's a good healer, though. I'll give him that.
Yeah. Well, and that's his main role. So, but yeah, I mean, it'd be very interesting to see who gets added because I'm sure there's obviously a very long list of characters that can be added, and there's some
Yeah, it's
favorites not already that are not in there. So, there's very few X-Men. It's only Wolverine, Storm, and Magneto. So you got that whole
yeah,
roster of people. You have none of the Fantastic Four yet. I'm sure they would be in there. I think you have all the Avengers. Yeah, there's Cap, Iron Man, Thor, Black Widow, Hawkeye, and Hulk. So like all
yeah.
of the like MCU movie Avengers.
I saw a Reddit post of like someone's wish list for the game. They
Mm.
had Ant-Man on there. I
Yeah,
was
that
thinking
would
that
be
would be
cool.
cool. Yeah, because
Yeah,
they could do a lot of like
yeah,
interesting stuff with his superpowers.
yeah. I saw a thumb. This is a thumbnail of a YouTube video. So I have no idea if this is like is from a leak or if it's just someone's speculation. But like, as far as two new characters, I saw Captain Marvel and Ultron. So, but I have no idea. Don't like quote me on that. I just happened. It might have just been someone's musings on the internet. So we
Yeah,
know how much that is worth. But
nothing.
yeah, but I very much wouldn't be surprised if Captain Marvel makes it.
Yeah, I feel like they
Ult-
can try to like coincided with releases of
Yeah.
Marvel TV shows and
Yeah.
movies.
Right.
I don't really know any of that are coming up because I haven't been following the
Mm,
MCU.
yeah. Same here. Yeah. So I mean, I've loved it so far. I want to keep up with it. And Tom, what do you think?
Yeah, I think it can really have a lot of staying power. Like just the amount of people who are playing it now, it's a really good sign for
Yeah.
for a game like this.
And Tom,
And,
despite your like dislike of Overwatch, that was a big game. So if this is a
yeah,
more
definitely.
popular version of that with, Marvel IP backing, essentially, it could definitely be a
Yeah.
long-standing game.
Yeah, and I think this game was even, yeah, because it was in like, I guess, a closed beta for a while or something. And some streamers that I follow from other games were playing it, and I feel like I've only seen praise for this game, whereas so many other games, there's always people talking smack about it. So, yeah, I think this one's the real deal.
I think we both can safely say that we would recommend you trying this out. The other good thing about it is it's free. So, there's really no harm in trying it out. So we would obviously implore all of you to give it a shot and, hope you enjoy it as well. All right. To end this DLC episode, well, first I'll say just, catch our regular podcast, Brothers and Boss Battles Video Game Showdown. Visit us on our X and Instagram sites at Brothers and Boss Battles, at Bros Boss Battles. That's BROS Boss Battles. Our website, brothersandbossbattles.com. Our YouTube page, or wherever you get this podcast. Leave a message. Let us know what you think of this game. We'd be really excited to hear what you have to say. To end this show, why don't we each give our number one Marvel character that we want to see in this game that isn't already there? I'll go
Okay,
first.
yeah,
Yeah, so you could think while I talk. So my favorite, so I love the X-Men growing up, and my favorite character from the X-Men was Cyclops, and he's not in this game. So he's my pick. He's the guy I'd want to see in the game most of all. Obviously the Optic Blast is a an iconic move of his, and I don't know. You'd probably have to put him as another duelist. So I know that they're oversaturating that category a little bit, but I'd like to see him there. So,
yeah. I think I'm gonna go with the next man as well. My favorite X X-Men character is Wolverine. He's already in the game, but I think that Gambit would be a really cool addition
mm,
because he's got like a unique abilities and where he throws the cards so that give him like a ranged attack, but also he has the staff to get in like close range abilities. So again, probably a duelist, but yeah, I think he would be cool.
all right, there you have it. Thanks everyone for checking out Brothers and Boss Battles DLC, where we discuss Marvel Rivals. Go and check it out. All right, everyone. Goodbye.